She walked away after what seemed like an ordinary argument, and no one realized it would be the last time anyone ever saw 16-year-old Samantha Tapp. Was she simply another runaway, or did that single walk home hide a truth that remains unsolved more than 2 decades later? Before we begin, subscribe and turn on notifications. Samantha Leighann Tapp was 16 years old when she disappeared from Burleson, Texas, on October 12, 2004. Before the events that made her case a lasting mystery, Samantha's life had already been shaped by hardship. She and her older sister, Kendale, grew up in an unstable family environment that eventually led both girls into foster care. When their foster mother could no longer care for them, the sisters were separated and sent to live with different relatives. Samantha went to stay with an aunt, while Kendale moved in with their grandparents. Later, Samantha also joined her grandparents' household in Burleson, allowing the sisters to live close together again. Despite the challenges they had experienced, Kendale described their relationship as exceptionally close. Having endured difficult circumstances throughout childhood, they depended on one another for support and companionship. According to Kendale, they were always there for each other, creating a bond strengthened by shared experiences rather than broken by them. Friends remembered Samantha for the energy she brought into everyday life. Her friend Vanessa described her as fun, funny, and someone who loved making people laugh with silly faces and jokes. Samantha preferred walking wherever she needed to go instead of driving. She enjoyed spending time outdoors, liked auto racing, and was happiest when surrounded by other people. Those who knew her remembered an outgoing teenager who appreciated simple moments with friends and family. Although Samantha had previously left home for short periods after disagreements, she always returned within hours or a day. Those earlier incidents became part of how others viewed her behavior, but they never erased the connection she maintained with Kendale. By October 2004, Samantha remained closely tied to her sister despite the difficulties they had faced growing up. Neither of them could have known that the ordinary routines of their lives were about to change, marking the beginning of a disappearance that remains unresolved decades later. On October 12, 2004, 16-year-old Samantha Leighann Tapp made what would become her final confirmed visit to her older sister, Kendale, in Burleson, Texas. By that time, Kendale had moved out of their grandparents' home and was living with her boyfriend. Samantha walked to the house that evening, arriving upset over an argument or disagreement that Kendale would later describe as probably something silly. Years afterward, Kendale acknowledged that she could no longer remember exactly what had caused Samantha's distress, only that her younger sister appeared emotional and wanted somewhere else to stay. Samantha asked if she could remain with Kendale instead of returning to their grandparents' home. Kendale refused the request and told Samantha she needed to go back home. It was a decision made during what appeared to be an ordinary disagreement between sisters. There is no documented indication that either believed the conversation would become their last. Samantha left the house angry, and Kendale assumed she simply needed time to cool down before returning, just as she had done after previous disagreements. Because Samantha had run away for short periods before, her departure did not immediately seem unusual. Those earlier incidents had always ended with her coming back within hours, or by the following day. Kendale believed this time would be no different. Instead, after Samantha walked away from the house, she was never seen or heard from again by her family. At the time of her disappearance, Samantha was described as a white 16-year-old female standing between 5 feet 4 inches and 5 feet 6 inches tall and weighing approximately 120 pounds. She had brown hair, brown eyes, and might have been wearing glasses or contact lenses. Investigators also noted that she could have used the surnames Vandiver, the last name of her former foster mother, or Brown, the surname of a relative. What initially appeared to be another temporary family disagreement quickly became something far more serious. As hours turned into days without any contact from Samantha, her family realized this disappearance was unlike any previous occasion when she had briefly left home, marking the beginning of an unresolved missing person case that continues today. In the days immediately following Samantha Leighann Tapp's disappearance, those closest to her believed she had likely run away again. That assumption was based on her past behavior. Samantha had previously left home after disagreements, but those absences usually lasted only a few hours or, at most, a single day before she returned. Her family expected this situation to follow the same pattern. Another circumstance also influenced how the disappearance was viewed. Shortly before October 12, 2004, Samantha had taken her aunt's vehicle without permission. The incident resulted in her being placed on probation, creating a documented history that authorities considered when evaluating her disappearance. Combined with the absence of visible evidence suggesting a struggle or criminal activity, investigators concluded that Samantha had likely left voluntarily rather than becoming the victim of foul play. When several days passed without any contact, Kendale attempted to report her younger sister missing. Despite the family's growing concern, available information indicates there was no evidence supporting a criminal investigation at that stage. Because Samantha's disappearance was classified as a runaway case, law enforcement did not organize a formal search or launch an extensive investigation into the circumstances surrounding her disappearance. That initial classification also affected how widely Samantha's case became known, with authorities treating the situation as a voluntary runaway rather than an unexplained missing person case. There was very little media coverage during the critical early period. As a result, public awareness remained limited, and Samantha's disappearance received far less attention than many other missing juvenile cases. For Kendale and the rest of the family, the passing days gradually replaced the expectation of Samantha's return with growing uncertainty. Although investigators had found no evidence indicating foul play, they also had no confirmed information explaining where Samantha had gone or why she had not contacted anyone. The runaway designation shaped the early investigation and influenced the amount of public attention the case received, leaving Samantha's family to continue searching for answers while hoping she would eventually come home or make contact on her own. Every passing week only deepened those unanswered questions. Within about a week of Samantha Leighann Tapp's disappearance, her family encountered developments that raised new questions without providing clear answers. Kendale and their grandparents noticed unexplained cigarette butts and rearranged furniture in the backyard of the grandparents' home. To Kendale, the scene suggested the possibility that Samantha had returned to the property and met with friends while the grandparents were away. Although the observations stood out because they appeared unusual, there was no confirmed evidence establishing exactly who had been there or when the activity had occurred. The family reported what they had found to law enforcement. According to available information, officers advised them to change the locks on the house, but no broader investigative effort followed as a result of those observations. The backyard discoveries remained one of several unanswered details that continued to stay with Samantha's family over the years. As time passed, additional questions emerged through records connected to Samantha's name. One report indicated that the Columbia County and St. Helens Police Department in Oregon queried the name Samantha Tapp in 2011. However, no surviving records explain the reason for that inquiry. A second report stated that customs officials at Dallas-Fort Worth International Airport checked the name Samantha Tapp in 2013. Once again, there were no remaining records describing why the search occurred or whether it involved Samantha herself. Kendale noted that Samantha did not have a passport when she disappeared in 2004. That fact prompted questions about whether another individual might have used Samantha's identity, although no evidence confirmed that possibility. At the same time, reports indicated that Samantha's original Social Security number had apparently never been used after her disappearance. Together, these developments offered neither confirmation that Samantha was alive nor proof of what had happened. Instead, they became a series of unresolved clues that encouraged her family to continue searching while accepting that each discovery produced as many questions as answers, leaving Samantha's disappearance surrounded by uncertainty rather than resolution. Every lead ultimately remained incomplete and unexplained. Years passed without confirmed answers, but Kendale refused to stop searching for her younger sister. Although Samantha Leighann Tapp's disappearance had received limited public attention after being classified as an endangered runaway, Kendale continued advocating for her case and looking for new opportunities to learn what had happened. Her determination eventually brought additional people into the effort, including private investigator Lou Barry and family advocate Jason Watts. Together, they began reviewing the available information, examining the original timeline, and following documented leads connected to Samantha's disappearance. Their work focused on understanding the existing evidence rather than creating new theories. By carefully reviewing records and previously reported information, they hoped to identify overlooked details that might explain where Samantha had gone, or encourage someone with knowledge of the case to come forward. The renewed attention demonstrated that, despite the passing years, Samantha's disappearance remained an active concern for those closest to her. In 2015, the Burleson Police Department requested assistance from the Texas Attorney General. Because Samantha had been on probation when she disappeared after taking a relative's vehicle without permission, authorities reportedly classified her as a fugitive as part of the renewed investigative effort. Despite that additional involvement, the investigation did not produce definitive answers regarding Samantha's whereabouts or the circumstances surrounding her disappearance. Another important development occurred in 2021 when Kendale successfully obtained investigative records through a Freedom of Information Act request submitted with assistance from those supporting the case. The documents provided by the Texas Attorney General offered additional material for review, allowing Kendale, Lou Barry, and Jason Watts to continue examining available information and pursuing documented leads. Their objective remained consistent throughout the process: to locate Samantha or encourage her to make contact with her family if she was still alive. Although these renewed efforts expanded the amount of information available for examination, they did not resolve the central mystery. Instead, they reflected the persistence of Samantha's supporters, who continued reviewing official records and following every documented lead, while hoping that one piece of verified information might eventually provide the answers her family had sought for many years. More than 2 decades after Samantha Leighann Tapp disappeared from Burleson, Texas, her case remains officially classified as an endangered runaway. That designation continues to shape how the disappearance is viewed, and Kendale has spent years asking authorities to reconsider the classification and recognize Samantha as a missing person instead. She believes such a change could generate greater public awareness, encourage additional investigative attention, and bring renewed focus to a case that received little publicity during its earliest days. Kendale's commitment to finding her younger sister has never faded. Through the passing years, she has continued searching for answers, while holding on to one simple hope that has remained unchanged. She has deliberately kept the same telephone number for nearly 2 decades, in case Samantha ever decides to reach out. It is a decision reflecting Kendale's belief that, if Samantha is alive and able to make contact, she should always know exactly how to reach her family without uncertainty. The National Center for Missing and Exploited Children has also produced an age-progressed image showing what Samantha might look like as an adult. The image serves as a reminder that the 16-year-old who disappeared in 2004 would now be many years older if she is still alive. It provides the public with an updated reference, while reinforcing that the search has never officially ended, despite the passage of time. Kendale has often expressed hope that Samantha simply chose to leave behind a difficult childhood and begin a different life. If that is what happened, she wants her sister to know she is not in trouble, that she remains loved, and that she can safely make contact whenever she feels ready. At the same time, Kendale has acknowledged another possibility. If Samantha is unable to reach out because she is not free to do so, or is facing difficult circumstances, she wants her to know that the search continues and that she has not been forgotten. Today, Samantha's disappearance remains unsolved. No confirmed explanation has established what happened after she walked away on October 12, 2004. Anyone with credible information regarding Samantha Leighann Tapp's whereabouts is encouraged to contact the Burleson Police Department, the Texas Department of Public Safety Missing Persons Clearinghouse, or private investigations for the missing. Until verified answers emerge, Samantha's family continues searching, hoping that one day the uncertainty surrounding her disappearance will finally be replaced with truth, whatever that truth may ultimately be.